They don't make sci-fi shooters like this anymore. Forget boring cover mechanics and generic weapons. In Syndicate you are a walking arsenal, a cybernetically enhanced killing machine, dominating a dystopia ruled by mega corporations. The year is 2069. Welcome to a new world. Or what's left of it anyway. The future is not as bright as green cities and utopian societies. This is a world filled by the pollution of human ambition and corporate greed. Mega cities that stretch as far as the eye can see, scraping the polluted sky. This wasn't promised by those old sci-fi movies. Towering corporate headquarters cast long, oppressive shadows over the struggling masses crammed into small, overpriced apartments below. Forget the cute cafes and lively markets of the past. Here, food comes in the form of tasteless ration bars dispensed from vending machines or questionable street food stalls reeking of chemicals. Graffiti show the expressions of the few people that dare to oppress the corporates. Sunlight is filtered through layers of pollution and the ever-present glow of neon light. Harsh artificial lights illuminate the endless metal walkways and small corridors with tubes and pipes that snake through the buildings. You know, this game actually reminds me of the game Mirror's Edge. It has the same type of bloom and world building. Even the combat has something that represents Mirror's Edge. In this oppressing world, the concept of a nation state is gone. Mega corporations like Eurocorp and Aspari have transcended from businesses, evolving into extensive entities with a grip on every aspect of life. Imagine Amazon on steroids. These organizations have their own private armies, advanced research facilities that produce advanced weaponry, and enough political influence to rewrite laws at will. This is the reality that Syndicate tries to shape, and it does it quite well. Some areas do look a little bland, but for the most part the environmental storytelling is well implemented. Signs which were once vibrant advertisements now offer a glimpse into the distorted priorities of this type of society. Luxury apartments are advertised with holographic projections of high quality products and services, while the lower streets of the city advertise bounties on people's heads. Missions in corporate buildings take you to environments with advanced technologies, while at the bottom there are rundown apartments where people are dependent on small fireplaces to stay warm. These are just a few examples of the storytelling in Syndicate's environment, where every detail serves a purpose, weaving a narrative of oppression, desperation and the ever-present grip of corporate control. The grip of the megacorporations extends far beyond the towering structures and propaganda posters that dominate the cityscape. Syndicate utilizes in-game news broadcasts and data terminals to paint a disturbing portrait of a society where information is carefully controlled to serve the corporate agenda. The holograms on a luxurious resort only share positive news, like how good and comfortable your life can be there, conveniently ignoring the environmental damage caused by the factories or the labor abuses widespread in their sweatshops. News reports in the slums do share the complete pictures, through stories from uprising people.
Have you ever noticed how the promise of those advances in markets get siphoned off? How when it comes time for the benefits to be shared out?
While they can share this information with each other, there's nothing they can do about it. These elements provide valuable details to the game, enhancing the storytelling. There's also an in-game database, called Infobank, which stores all kinds of information, like the background of a certain enemy. While being questioned, we meet our protagonist, Agent Miles Kilo. You might suspect that he is some idealistic hero from the gutters, fighting for a better tomorrow, but it's the opposite actually. Kilo is a product of the system, a ruthless and efficient agent working for Eurocorp. His body augmented with cybernetic enhancements that blur the line between man and machine. While his past isn't shared, we do know that his loyalties lie solely with Eurocorp, since he is bound to a contract. He is equipped with a new prototype Dart-6 chip created by Eurocorp scientist Lily Drawl. His duties are eliminating threats, maintaining order and dealing with problems that official channels can't handle. Despite his loyalty to Eurocorp, Kilo isn't blind to the corruptions, and for good reason trusts very few. Betrayal is a constant threat, and even a most simple mission can turn deadly in the blink of an eye. As you progress through the game, you'll unravel the truth behind Eurocorp's schemes, forcing Kilo to make choices. Syndicate throws you headfirst into the corporate war, with its intense and fast-paced first-person shooting. It offers a mix of modern-day and futuristic weapons, and prioritizes aggressive gameplay over slow and tactical gameplay. Simple pistols provide slower but pinpoint accuracy, while a high-tech flamethrower makes even the biggest group of enemies shiver. The fast-paced nature of the combat keeps the adrenaline pumping. The enemy AI is aggressive and relentless, forcing you to think on your feet and utilize your full arsenal to survive. Don't expect to win when just standing around. Syndicate rewards a proactive approach, encouraging you to close the distance, unleash a devastating combo of bullets and cybernetic abilities, and move on to the next target. Let's take a closer look at one of the high-tech weapons, the Riot Lance. It originally shoots regular darts, but at a later stage it shoots lightning bolts of energy, which on impact will jump to additional enemies near the target. It can be upgraded with different components, such as more ammunition, increased damage, increased fire rate, and a mode to fire remaining projectiles in a magazine in one go. While Syndicate's arsenal is impressive, Agent Kilo's true edge comes from the cybernetic augmentation via the Dart 6 chip. Think of it as a Swiss Army knife, implanted directly into your brain, giving Kilo a suite of abilities that turn him into a walking tactical computer. A key aspect of the chip is its enhanced vision system, which is essentially X-ray. Walls become transparent, revealing the location of enemies hiding behind cover, and objectives and hackable objects are highlighted, pulsing with a soft glow. Even though I previously said that the game prioritizes aggressive gameplay over tactical gameplay, this enhanced vision grants Kilo a tactical advantage. This doesn't mean you have to plan out your attacks in detail and go from cover to cover, you can go run and gunning. This just gives you more information about your environment, which is a nice touch. But the Dart 6 chip offers more than just a fancy heads-up display. It unlocks different hacking abilities that allows Kilo to manipulate the battlefield to his advantage. You can use the breaching abilities to hack into enemies' minds and control their actions, which gives you 3 options. Backfire causes enemies' weapons to malfunction and backfire, stunning them in progress. Suicide, which speaks for itself, causes enemies to kill themselves. And Persuade leads the enemies to turn against their own allies, before also committing suicide. It's kind of cruel actually. I really like these mechanics. They enhance the overall gameplay experience, and can turn the tide of a battle with a well-timed hack. The Dart 6 chip offers another ace up its sleeves, bullet time. This not only slows down the world around you, but has the added benefit of increased damage output and a faster health regeneration rate. While Syndicate wasn't the first game to explore bullet time mechanics, titles like Timeshift and Vanquish had already pushed the boundaries, it refines the concept for a more tactical experience. It fits in perfectly with the other abilities of the chip. For example, you can reposition yourself to flank enemies while disabling their weapons. While bullet time has seen a resurgence in recent years, with titles like Cyberpunk 2 and Quantum Break, it's still a mechanic underutilized in a modern gaming landscape, which is a shame in my opinion. The frenetic action of Syndicate wouldn't be complete without a heads-up display as sleek and deadly as the Dart 6 chip itself. This isn't your average cluttered mess of information overload. This is a HUD that moves with you, not against you, and I mean that both figuratively and literally. It moves dynamically according to your movement, which gives it a nice feeling I can't really describe. Overall, it really captures the sci-fi look that we're going for, while keeping it clean with enough information. Syndicate wasn't a critical hit upon release. It got mixed reviews, praising the unique visuals, awesome soundtrack and innovative gameplay features while critiquing its shortcomings. The game has a cyberpunk aesthetic, which perfectly captures the atmosphere of the corporate-controlled world. The soundtrack complements the high-speed action on screen. The core gameplay loop was undeniably fun. Who wouldn't enjoy raining down bullets on corporate goons with a variety of futuristic weaponry and manipulate the battlefield with tactical hacks? However, Syndicate wasn't without its flaws. A major negative point was the game's length. According to the site How Long to Beat, the campaign can be completed in a mere 6 hours. The original game, released 19 years before, had double that length. The world, while most times visually impressive, felt sometimes a bit empty, lacking the depth and interactivity to truly feel lived in. Additionally, some critics felt the core gameplay loop, while initially exciting, became repetitive over time. The enemy variety wasn't great, and the objectives often boiled down to shoot everything that moves, with occasional hacking sprinkled in. It's also worth noting that Syndicate's brutal depiction of violence caused a bit of a stir. The game's excessive gore and creative methods of killing led to it being banned in Australia and Germany. While this didn't necessarily impact its reception everywhere else, it does highlight the game's commitment to its dark and uncompromising vision of the future. With this critique, the Syndicate revival had not been as successful as had been hoped by EA. The game was considered a commercial failure, selling only around 150,000 copies worldwide. I have to note though that the budget for this game was less than those of other AAA games, so that is one of the reasons. While the reception was mixed, it has had some influence on future games. One clear successor is Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. This narrative-driven action RPG borrows heavily from Syndicate's theme. Both games take place in a world taken by corporate control, where human augmentation is commonplace. The game also offers players a variety of approaches to objectives, from full-on gunfights to stealthy infiltration. The game even features a time dilation mechanic that reminds me of Syndicate's bullet time. Cyberpunk 2077 also shares similarities to Syndicate, although not that much. Night City, the metropolis in Cyberpunk, looks somewhat similar to this lower street in Syndicate. This is of course quite far-stretched, but what is very similar are the cybernetic enhancements and worlds ruled by corporations. Syndicate occupies a curious space in gaming history. It wasn't a commercial success and critical reception was lukewarm at best. Yet, there's an undeniably charm to the cyberpunk shooter, a sense of unfulfilled potential. Sure, it has its shortcomings, but the core gameplay feels amazing and the environments look awesome, even for today's standards. In my opinion, it's a shame that this game only became a cult classic. I think this game deserved a sequel. Its lore and potential for further exploration begs to be revisited. But my hopes are down, since they don't make single player FPS games anymore. If you became excited for the game after watching this video, I recommend emulating it via RPCS3. Thank you for watching the video till the end.